How's it going, guys? Tony here, and today we'll be talking about some kind of sad news, kind of a downer, but we kind of saw it coming. Today I'll be talking about Toys R Us, and we know that it filed bankruptcy and stores were announced to close, and there's actually a potential for Toys R Us to liquidate all of its assets and close all 800 stores. Check out what I have to say, guys. Sharing some memories, my thoughts, and just, I don't know, guys. We'll see. Let's get into it. Thanks for watching, guys. Okay, guys, so first off, I just have some relics here from the past, some Toys R Us memorabilia, if you will. So I have just one of these, and this isn't like my favorite game or anything. I actually snagged this off of a buddy that I did a deal with, Matt. Thank you. You know who you are. And Toys R Us back in the day, if you wanted to buy a game, you would go, and if they had one of these cards, you'd take the card and you would go and literally just give it to somebody and purchase the game. And it was just kind of neat. And it was just a way to, you know, keep the game secure, make sure they're not stolen. Here's the back. So you get a little preview. You know, that's what's on the back of the actual box. So yeah, it's pretty cool to have that. Keep it in the collection forever. I'd like to have more. Now, I just got this recently. This is a VHS tape. It's the Hot News 64. And this would play at Toys R Us. And it's just like a little preview of games coming up. So like this one, for example, Jet Force Gemini and Donkey Kong 64. And it would just play in the store and like a little preview. Okay, guys, so just a little bit of a background here and a timeline. So I got most of my information from Forbes.com and CNBC, and this is not something I'm very happy about, but it is what it is. So they filed bankruptcy last September. I actually did a video on that when that happened. And they claim that it was just to restructure the stores, restructure what was going on in the business model. They were looking at Babies R Us, and basically that was kind of bleeding it, killing it, and it really wasn't making the profit that they were hoping. So they promised, hey, we're not closing, we're not closing, we're not going to close our stores down. So jump forward a few months, January, beginning of this year, they basically announced that 180 of their stores out of their 800 were going to close. Now, one of those Toys R Us's, that's weird to say, Toys R Us's, one of those stores is my Toys R Us. Okay, and it's the Toys R Us that's in Columbia, Missouri. I claim that one, so to speak. That's my closest one. The next nearest one would be like in Chesterfield and in the St. Louis area. But the one in Columbia is mine. I was literally there the day that store opened. I was there at the grand opening. It was one of the coolest things I remember from my childhood, and just all these great memories from that time. Basically, it had all these people dressed up either in costumes or like suits or whatever. I remember, you know, Sonic the Hedgehog, Barbie, G.I. Joe. I think there was somebody dressed up like Mario there. Jeff, you know, the mascot from Toys R Us was dressed up. It was awesome. And then you walk through the store. It was a huge line. We waited in line for like 2 hours just to walk through the stupid store and see it and talk to all the, you know, people in costumes and outfits and all that. But it was awesome. Early 90s, I will never forget that. And I'm gonna try to be there the very last day that it closes. I mean, that, who can say that, you know, not many people can say that. So yeah, I'm pretty bummed out about that. And it is what it is. You know, I'm an adult. I'm, you know, in my 30s. So it's not like I'm going to be buying a ton of toys like when I was a kid, or even a ton of video games from them like when I was a kid. And really, I don't really remember buying a whole lot of video games from them. When they were on clearance and on sale, I'd buy them. But generally speaking, you know, I'd buy toys from Toys R Us. You know, go figure. It's the name, right? So they announced the 180 stores closing. And, you know, just here recently, we're getting the news that they're possibly, and this is kind of insider news, at least that's what I'm gathering, is that they're drafting a court order to basically liquidate all of their assets. All of it. And this could come as early as March 14th. That would be, from the day that I'm filming, that would actually be tomorrow that we could see something. That's the earliest. And this could likely close all 800 stores that Toys R Us has. And this could be worldwide. Now, they have actually a pretty big operation in the United Kingdom. I don't know about the rest of Europe, but they do have pretty big operation there in Great Britain. Now, you know, just a few more little facts here. So last year alone, they were about 15 to 20% of all toy sales. That's a pretty big chunk. Now, that's not like a monopoly or even the majority of the toy sales, but still, that's a pretty big chunk. There's gonna be some vultures out there. Amazon, Walmart, Target, they're gonna latch on to this. They're gonna take advantage of this. They're gonna take up some of that percentage. I see it happening, especially Amazon. Amazon's already got a big chunk of that anyway. I mean, to be fair, guys, for my nephew's birthdays and Christmas gifts, I actually went through Amazon for the first time this year instead of going to a store. And I actually really liked it. I'm not gonna lie. But still, I like going into stores. I like picking up, you know, toys, looking at them, if they're for somebody else. And if it's something I want to purchase, I want to look at the thing. I want to physically hold it. I want to look at it, see, you know, does this take assembly? How, you know, I just want to hold the thing. So I prefer going into a store for toys. Okay, the Amazon thing was kind of like I had to. But anyway, a few other facts here. Mattel is actually going to be, they're actually dropping in the stock market. They've dropped 8%. And Hasbro, they've dropped 4.6% as of today, which is March 13th, 2018. And, you know, there's just going to be a lot of big implications around this. And it's not looking good. But still, it happens. It happens. You know, all things come to an end. Like Blockbuster. When Blockbuster closed its doors, now there's like a few random ones in the United States. Like there's one in Alaska, I know. But it is what it is, guys. Everything comes to an end. And Amazon, just like with Blockbuster being beat out by the internet and Netflix, essentially, well, the same thing happened to Toys R Us. The internet won. The internet won. And Amazon, if you have Amazon Prime, the shipping is free. And I take advantage of Amazon Prime. I love Amazon Prime. I'm not going to lie. as well as the other features. You know, I won't get into that, but man, it's hard. It was very hard for Toys R Us to compete. Now, I did like the rewards program. They would email me almost every single day about deals, and you know, their prices were okay. Their prices were fair. And I'm not going to get into the reasons why I think it failed. That might be another video down the line. But I just wanted to spend some time, you know, like just sharing some childhood memories. You know, like I said, I was there opening day, and I'll never forget it. I remember as a kid just going and looking and just being like just overwhelmed. I always remember buying Ninja Turtle toys. I remember very, very vividly saving up my allowance money to purchase the Ninja Turtle blimp, okay, from the 90s. And I remember it was like $24.95 back then, and that was a chunk of change for a kid. And I also remember purchasing some Ghostbuster stuff. I got a lot of that like at Kmart. Back in the day, my grandparents would take me to Kmart all the time. Some Ninja Turtle stuff. I actually remember when I was like a teenager, I would buy a lot of video game action figures, like Metal Gear Solid. I bought like that entire line. Resident Evil 2. That stuff was cool. I don't have that anymore. I wish I did. But I had, you know, a lot of different phases in my life. When I was an adult, just here recently in the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, I've been going there on and off. There's World of Nintendo stuff that they have, and it was kind of exclusive to Toys R Us. And I would just go and get that stuff and just try to collect it. It kind of got out of hand. Nintendo went a little crazy with, you know, all the different series they had with that. And I would actually purchase a lot of good video game deals there. And I found a lot of good Wii U games for cheap, PS4. That's actually where I bought the Atari Flashback games, 1 and 2, Volume 1 and 2. So I do have, you know, quite the history of Toys R Us. And it was nice to be able to go in that store and purchase some games. And you know, I went in there searching for the NES Classic in one of my videos, and the Super NES Classic. There's a lot of good memories, and I'm going to try my darndest to get there before it closes, and I'd like to get there the day that it closes. I'm going to ask, I'm going to call, and figure that out, and I'm going to try to document that. Okay, it's not like one of those abandoned malls or abandoned series. It's not really like that for me. It's more of, you know, capturing that moment. And I was there at the beginning, and I want to be there at the end for my particular store in Columbia, Missouri. Well, guys, what do you think? What's some of your favorite memories from Toys R Us? Are you surprised by this news? I mean, I'm really not surprised at all. I kind of saw this coming when they filed for bankruptcy, and the writing was on the wall. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, they're not going to close, they're going to restructure. Toys R Us is claiming that they're not going to close. Well, I kind of called it. They're going to liquidate, guys. That's the way I look at it. So, hey guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. And again, tell me your favorite Toys R Us memory and how you feel about all this. Okay guys, well, again, have a great day. And I appreciate every single one of you guys. And have a great rest of your day.